Hey, it's Adam here, and you're watching The Culture Hack, where we're talking about how to create engaged workspaces that unlock the potential of your teams and drive your business forward in ways you've never seen. So stay tuned. Hello, and welcome to The Culture Hack. Today is super exciting. I have with me Kimberly Ho. She is the principal HR consultant at Honiva. Welcome, Kimberly. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Adam. Really excited to be here today.
I love it. I love how you're just like so excited. This is going to be amazing.
I come to, any of these talks and podcasts, and it's just, an opportunity to share and help. And hopefully today we'll be able to do that for some business owners that will be watching this.
Okay, amazing. But first things foremost, tell us about Honiva.
Oh gosh. Well, we are a HR consulting company. I get to go into different businesses as they're growing to set up their HR framework, make sure that they are taking care of their employer responsibilities, meeting all the expectations on the employee and employer side, and really building strong businesses that are going to last. And part of that is creating a really wonderful workplace where people are excited to come to work, engaged, and you see all of those results at the end of the day.
Okay, I love it. It's right up my alley. I into deals with all this cultural stuff too, so we really enjoy working with HR professionals like yourself. So you've seen a lot. You've worked with a lot of different companies. But first, I'm curious, when we talk about engagement or we say team engagement, what does it mean to you?
For myself, it's really a happy employee. Someone that is present, they're engaged, they feel they have purpose, a place, where they belong and can actually make a difference. And it's, in a way, it's simple because, it's happiness. But in the HR world, as you probably know, that has a different definition, right? It's not someone that's just showing up to, collect a paycheck, but someone that wants to be a part of something bigger and more meaningful.
I love that. Very, very cool. I always enjoy the idea that people like to be part of an organization when feel like they're part of something grander, some purpose, whether it's how we give back or what the company is doing to help. I think it's a powerful notion, but
Absolutely.
Not always easy to reinforce that idea and continue, despite all the goings on in your day to day. So when you're working with clients, are there, any specific problems or tricky areas that come to mind that you've seen?
Well, I've been working in HR for about 17 years now, so a lot of stories. But I think just I'm gonna maybe start with our own team. So I think one of the challenges that we see is enthusiasm. So when we hire, really good culture fit, team fit, job fit, all of that, and they're very gung ho. And yet we work in an environment that, it takes some time to go through a learning curve when they first start. So we've been very careful in terms of the onboarding experience that they go through so that, they are working their areas of strength. So that builds that confidence, the joy, but the challenges sometimes I just have to say, okay, before we get to step B, we might want to look at step A. I think in terms of the clients that we work with, they are usually going through fast periods of growth. And we see that they will then have a little bit of, overlap. So say they're a company that's going from small to medium to large. In that, I guess, time frame, employees are often working in blended jobs, right? They're doing, a lot. They're wearing multiple hats. But as the company grows, they are able to really, get a little bit deeper in, a couple areas. And again, still working their areas of strength. But the challenge is that they might be, a duplication of efforts. So in those instances, we come in and we, do some job design, rearrange everything, organize the team, and that clears up that challenge. But it is something that we see across industries, geographies, all types of businesses, and but that's an area that we are able to see very clearly as we're coming into these work environments.
Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? Like people get together and it's
Yeah,
small and we all know what we're doing, and then we add a person, we add a person, we add a person, and then all of a sudden this like big knot starts to like be drawn, right? This complicated
yeah,
mess. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and
yeah.
who's handing the baton and who's taking the baton? I don't know. I thought you had it. Like where did it
A
go?
lot of
Right?
confusion, a lot of questions, and so
Yeah.
I think it comes down to communication.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just having the conversation to say, okay, I think I'm supposed to be doing this, but it's like, no, you're not supposed to, someone else is, or oh, yes, that is correct. And um, when we see conversations happening in companies, we also, it's not only stuck at the conversation. We get to the point of, okay, now how do we get better together and really involving everybody and all the stakeholders as part of that change. And I think that really helps with the buy-in and making sure that it is a sustained change. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. The ways of doing things tend to have an elasticity to it. I think about it, right? You might
Yeah.
change it for a week and it's going to snap back
It's like a
to,
habit, right? It takes
yeah.
time, but with proper reinforcement and support, I think it can happen because we've seen it happen, but definitely it does take a little bit of hand holding sometimes.
Hmm.
Because in these types of businesses that we're working with, their work environment, things are moving fast. They're changing a lot more quickly than they're used to. But the team that comes out, right? It's high performing. They're much more organized. They just have a better sense of clarity in terms of purpose and role and all the actions and behaviors and decisions around it.
Hmm. That's fantastic. Um, so what do you think, looking to the future, are companies now taking this idea of engagement seriously? Like, are they kind of putting a plan together for the year? Are they adjusting to the new technologies that are coming into the world? We've got, AI has kind of reared its head. We've got the digital presence and video becoming more and more and more relevant. How do you see companies reacting to this? Are they treating it like a discipline and putting energy into it, or are they kind of being reactive about it? Like, what do you see?
Um, I see both. Businesses are like people. There's the ones that'll do the hard work and, be true to what they want to do. And then there's the others that like to take shortcuts. We we definitely, want them to do something meaningful and we'll have those conversations. And at Honiva, we are careful about the types of clients that we bring on
Hmm.
because, it's a lot of investment in terms of work and money and all of that, that at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're leaving something of value to them.
Hmm.
Um, for for the ones that are putting in that hard work, yes, there's some planning. There's a lot of engagement in terms of who they're speaking with at all levels of their organization. Um, they know how to leverage the strength of their team to maintain that engagement. Um, and for the ones that are taking shortcuts, yeah, that's where they are jumping to technology right away without a plan. There's no strategy. They just, whatever that next fancy toy is,
Hmm.
and they reap the results of those choices. All we can do as consultants is we shine a light on, okay, this is the reality of what you're doing, the decisions that you've made. Um, we can highlight, opportunities to course correct or to amplify what they're doing that's working well. And, it's really just being right alongside our clients to make sure at the end of the day they are moving their business in the direction they want. And with that, their team needs to come along. And I do find the most success happens in the businesses where, they might set up a committee of the internal champions, or they are having regular communications and meetings and, really working as a team. Because that's really what engagement is, right? You have your focused engagement to the work and your own accountabilities, but you also have accountabilities to the others that are connected into that ecosystem.
Mhm.
And it's just, as you probably know, the work environment is an artificial place. We have created that business and that world. So it can grow, it can shrink, it can have good days, bad days, but it comes down to who is part of that ecosystem and whether or not they're speaking up and having a voice to actually make something that they're going to enjoy coming to each day.
I love that. I love the idea of a business as a living, breathing thing. It's an ecosystem.
It
It
is,
needs to
it is.
breathe. It needs to, right? It needs a timeout sometimes. Sometimes it's
Yes,
ready to grow, right? Like, that's
absolutely true.
fantastic, right?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I love that. And thank you so much for coming on the show, Kimberly. It was
Oh, you're
very
welcome.
interesting hearing your 17 years of experience with this stuff. It's fantastic.
Well, I feel very lucky that, we continue to get these opportunities to do amazing work. It's not everybody that goes down this path, but for the ones that do choose to, we have really good times together and just to watch their businesses flourish and grow. And, um, they don't talk and say that they're challenges or problems, right? It's just a part of the business and the commitment they've made, and they get through it, right? They kind of walk through the fire like a phoenix and they get to the other side. And it's
Rise.
really
Right?
good to be a part of that. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I love it. Way to end on the high note. Rise like a phoenix with
Oh,
Honiva's help, right?
you're welcome. Thank you very much for having me on today. And I look forward to, future talks with you, Adam.
All right. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for watching The Culture Hack. Do you want to chat culture and engagement? Give us a call and come on the show.